Hello and good morning and welcome to sunny Spain. La Cedagel is hosting the fifth and final Slalom World Cup of the 2018 season. And of course, it is World Cup final. What does that mean? Well, there's a seasonal point system, and this weekend, double points are on offer. It does mean that none of the four categories that we're looking at have been decided yet, so there's a lot of excitement going on. Today, we're going to be following a lot of action. First off is going to be the C1 men semi-final, and then we're going to see the K1 men semi-final, and later in the day the two finals. So that's something to look forward to. We're course side, we're just near the finish line. It's a wonderful situation. The course has never been better conditioned. I'm Matthew Layton as ever. I have several guests coming up today. Jake Cochran making his debut with us today, and Patrick Washer, we can't get rid of him. So how are you, gentlemen?
Yeah, not too bad, thanks, not too bad.
Very good, very good.
So talk us about the course, the conditions this morning for the athletes. How do you see them?
Looks like a pretty decent course. Few changes from yesterday, kind of the opposite changes at the top. Should be a good righty move into the first upright. Yeah, looking like it's going to be a good challenging tight course night for the racing today.
Definitely. With the course designer choosing to make a slightly more technical finish, so we'll have to see how the athletes in the semi-final and finals handle that.
Well, that's the idea, as we give you a few insights. If you can see the course, it looks very natural. Of course, it's not. The history is long. The key points, 1982 massive flood. They decided to build and change the course for the 1992 Olympics. Did very well. After that, they've had three World Championships. The next one's going to be next year. And this is the start list for the men's semi-final. 30 athletes have made it through, and these are the top athletes going in reverse order. So the first ones are the lucky escapees. They came through the second heat yesterday, and then we're moving down to the top zone, completely on form. They go one at a time, they go every 2 minutes, and our job is to share you with I think it's about 12 fixed cameras. We have a drone, we have also lots of little cameras to show you exactly what's going on. Wherever you are in the world, you're missing out not being here, but that's just one of those things. And conditions are ready. Everyone's taken their seats, and family and friends on the right hand side coming down, athletes in the middle. Bit of a change this year. Normally they have the athletes tent right in the middle, and now this year you have a super private section.
Yeah, strange this year actually having tents, but it's been pretty good, pretty handy.
Local athlete, let's see how he a lot of people are watching Daniel Mazur because he's obviously local knowledge.
Yeah, straight off of the Spanish boat. It's been quite exciting for the fans here, but yeah, he's a good paddler, very good paddler.
I hadn't actually seen him at many races before. Do you know, is this one of his first times making the team, Jack?
No, he's often around here. He's always in sail.
Oh, okay. Going not too badly at the top of the course. It's deceiving. The water's very slow, so they may look like they're going slow, but relative to other competitors, they're actually shifting along. It's becoming more and more popular, as you just saw, for the C1 men to swap the sides which they pedal on, and Daniel was one of those.
And Dave Florence, we saw a bit of in action. He's been practicing all winter. It looks like he has the confidence now to put it into action. Of course, they can punt off the sides.
Pretty nice move there by Daniel.
Going not too badly. It'd be rare to see an athlete progress through to the final with any more than one touch.
And we didn't see many 50s at all in the last couple of days, so most athletes are not being swept past the water.
Yeah, no, it's as you'll see, the water doesn't move too fast, so you can usually sort yourself out when you're in a spot of bother.
Well, the course is running, I believe, about 260 metres long today. It's quite an exhausting finish. You really have to power the last 30 metres.
Yeah, it's a very, very big sprint at the end there. I think I'll test a few people, but certainly going to be tired at the end.
Well, 1:12.
I think by judging by his face, Daniel knows he could have done a little bit better than that with those touches creeping in, but still not too bad.
Next to go, one of the most popular athletes in the field, it's the brothers Jean-Pierre Bourges from representing Senegal. Let's say he goes down.
Love the kag. Love the kag. It's very colourful. Yeah.
Embraces his Senegal roots.
Yeah, for sure.
Quite a good paddler. quite technical, and if he stays online and gets his chin up a bit, he can do quite well. Having raced, I know, at the Olympics in Rio, I believe.
Yep.
So he has some experience.
And also doing some quite a big brain on him as well, doing some quite academic studies.
I love it.
So he's going so far.
The split. Pretty smooth so far, I think. If he can get this curl move quite nice, I think he'll be in a good position for the bottom half of the course. Very nice.
So these athletes, this is the first time they've been on this course. They had a 7 o'clock yesterday evening. They were allowed to look at it. The only slight change was gate 8, I believe, was moved down a metre. So there's familiarity, but they've had a couple of forerunners this morning, but it's discovering what's going on.
Yeah, I think they'll probably been playing at it in their head last night. Going to sleep, I'm sure that's all they were thinking about. But Jean-Pierre seems like he's done a pretty decent job so far here. If he can hold this together in the last 2 gates, I think he'll be on for a pretty good time here.
Allez, let's go, Jean-Pierre. Well, that's what, 10-12 strokes to get across the line, but
He does like quite short strokes.
I think he should be pretty happy with that, I think.
Yeah, not a bad time. I'll expect to see some C1s doing low hundreds.
Yeah, for sure. Jink will get a sub 100 in.
Oh, we'll have to wait and see.
Yeah.
Patrick's normally quite good at guesstimating.
Yeah.
Mate Manic from Croatia, the tallest athlete, I believe.
Yeah, had a really good season a few seasons ago. I think maybe 2016, and made a bunch of finals at several World Cups. And then kind of fell off the wagon a little bit. I'm not sure quite what happened.
Pushed his beard, and now he's back on form. You don't want to chop a beard off.
No, it's good to see.
He seems to be back on now. I think he's made every World Cup semi-final this year, has he?
Oh, nice.
Maybe missed one. But yeah, he's on good form at the minute.
And as you'll notice, the further we get through the semi-final, it's canoe slalom. It takes all body types, and everyone has its own pros and cons, and there's no one which is superior.
Well, we see him slightly off the top. Also, we'd like to talk about the boats. There are strict regulations about the weight and the length and the width, but you can have different volumes, can't you? He's taken out gate 13.
Yeah. Depends on your weight, doesn't it, Jake? How many pies you eat?
How many Guinnesses you have during the winter, I think.
Yeah. But the average weight for most of these senior guys is kind of 70 to 80 kilos, so they're not awfully big.
Yeah, probably on the lighter side of that myself, I'd say.
Yeah.
So it's all about power to weight ratio, I guess.
Yeah,
For sure.
If you can be as strong as you can when you're light, I think you're in a good position.
So we saw, if you're new to this, the penalties go on instantaneously. So missing a gate is 50 and game over. If you hit a gate, or hit a pole rather, you have a 2-second penalty, where he has now 4 seconds added on, which is a shame because raw time was very quick.
Time,
Yeah, it's a respectable time.
There's the moustache. He's not able to wax it yet, but he's hoping in the next couple of weeks. In Burrows, of course.
That's a pretty good effort, that, I think.
I believe him and his fellow Australian C1 men were having somewhat of a competition.
Oh, no.
Oh, that's a young photo from me in there.
It's a real shame if you make a mistake at the top of the course behind that rock, because you can carry a lot of speed, and if you make a mistake, it really hampers your progress.
Yeah, hopefully he settles into the run a bit more and doesn't try and chase it too much after that mistake at the top. But
Definitely. He's an experienced peddler, so who knows.
We had Daniel and Brody just missing out. They're just 3 or 4 places off.
Yeah, it's becoming more and more competitive every race I attend.
So he's a little bit down at the moment. Let's see how he manages to pull it forward.
I think the lefties were probably pretty happy coming in this move here last night when they saw it. A bit more of a lefty move, but hard moving your crossbar.
This move here, though, hopefully you'll see later on some of the righties doing like dynamic moves around and really making up some time.
Well, he's not dropping further back.
Yeah, no, he's a good peddler. I believe his best result's 11th at a World Cup, so he has the potential to crack it into
Yeah,
the
he's
final.
often on the edge.
Definitely.
Has the Olympic experience, going into Rio in a couple of weeks, like many of you are.
Lovely move there. Did really well to get under that pole on the crossbar. Jake and I can attest to the fact it's not that easy.
Okay. So come on in. That 2 seconds at the beginning is very costly.
Oh, for sure. Once again, a time which could have taken the lead had he not made mistakes.
They're good for the confidence, and I guess that's what it's all about.
Definitely. Super exciting young athlete here. Rafi Valdi from Italy. His dad's recently returned from Brazil to coach him over the past sort of 18 months. Him and his brother, and he's made superb gains.
But they're real athletes, aren't they? If you look at them, they look like they're athletes.
Yeah, for sure. He's a real talented junior, but he was quite like small and nimble and things, and then he just really must have worked hard and packed on the pounds and was super strong.
Saw him doing a lot of physical work in Ivrea 2 weeks before the Under-23 Worlds this year.
Yeah.
So I think that helped him a bit this year when I think he came second there. So
he doesn't miss about.
Yeah.
And if you can follow or use Google Translate, Father's very interesting blog is No Holes Barred.
Oh, interesting.
There's always a blog comes after every event, and it gives his it's very much his own independent thoughts. But listen, just a slight 0.2 back off the pace at the moment.
Yeah, it's a first righty on that move here. He's done it pretty well.
Yeah, you see that they have to kind of bounce off the hole rather than carrying speed around it like the lefties do. See Willie do something fancy. Not bad.
0.48. I suppose the relevance this year is that with the World Championship being held here in 2019, where the majority of places are going to be allocated for the Olympics, it's good to be good on this course.
For sure. I'm not sure Rafi's pushing quite as hard as he can, but it's still a respectable run.
Yeah, I think we're going to see a new US leader here, I think, if everything holds up at the bottom.
Well, very much so. And he's not going to be lacking in power.
I'll see a big sprint to finish here from him, I think.
And very from the family and friends, and he moves in by 2 seconds. Doesn't yet know where the camera is. The later athletes, they'll correct that. Ah, there's a character.
Yeah, interesting to see him in second runs yesterday, but he put in a pretty solid effort, I think.
Adam Burgess for Great Britain. He's a cool character. I think he loves the competition.
He does, and a really consistent competitor. Often, finishing at similar places in big races and things.
Yeah, he's had a pretty decent season so far, I think.
Former junior and under-23 world champion. Let's see how he can get. Obviously, we do have a really strong Brit pack with Ryan Wesley and David Florence, both finishing the top 5 fastest. But let's see how Adam can come.
Definitely. Doing not too badly, carrying slightly better speed than some of the athletes I would have said. See coming in nice and high there, but maybe a bit too high. Should leave that one to the judges.
So the rule is all ahead, part of the boat, clear, but we are not right next to it. And 2.3 up, well done.
Yeah, this is more of a run which I expected to see. And Adams were, super good. You see him ranked number 8 in the world. I mean, he's a serious competitor.
Very nice in the back of the stopper there, I think. Carried a lot of speed in behind the gate and out very quickly. See how he gets on here. Be happy enough with that, I think. Should still up in the split.
Of course, Adam being a lefty with Rafi Valdi, the current race leader, being a righty, means that they gain and lose time at slightly different places.
Yeah, there was a slight touch which could be costly.
Oh, definitely. Particularly late in a run when you're tired and it's difficult to make up any time.
And the speaker here, Ignazi, next to us, is really shouting out what's going on. So there's no doubt about Adam will know about this touch.
Yeah, for sure.
How's the energy going? It needs to be good.
Go boy.
Still might go into the lead here, I think.
Winding it up nicely to the finish line.
Well, moves into first, but could be regrettable. 30 athletes to go in total. We've seen the first 6. Michal Markikan, well, we talk about his legendary status all the time. 39 years old, still manages to motivate himself to put on exhibition.
Yeah, serious operator here. I saw him at the all-you-can-eat Thai restaurant where we were at last night too, so I can guarantee he's well fed.
All you can eat.
Yeah. I think he might eat a little bit more than me.
Yeah, but the amount of calories he burns up in a day.
Oh yeah, for sure. Probably one of the most legendary competitors the sport's ever seen. Still at the forefront. Still, I saw an interview with him. He's saying his technique still needs some, as he said, therapy, which is debatable because it's pretty flawless to me.
And how can you see, you guys who study his form? Can you see a change in the last 30 years, or was it always once a Martin, always a Martin?
From the time I've been watching him, I think it's pretty much the same the whole time. Haven't noticed much change at all, but I don't think he needs to. Maybe he feels differently, but from what I've seen, it's working pretty well for him.
He definitely revolutionised the sport in that often he very rarely does spins and things, and hard moves he, as they say, just sends it and hopes for the best.
Well, 2.4 off the pace.
Yeah, he's the sport today is becoming more and more about just pushing it hard and things, and some of the older paddlers, which are more about smoothness and feeling, can struggle to keep up if you get a fast time in.
I guess it depends on the type of course you're on.
Oh, for sure. Mardikan's superb on the bigger whitewater courses and things. Getting a bit offline there, he won't be happy about that.
So this is where it's going to hurt the last 10 strokes to come over the line.
Yeah.
Good though.
Still a fast time. There you go, new leader.
Pretty good considering the bottom 4 gates there. I think he was a bit offline, but
Difficult to read in motion.
Yeah, for sure.
It's bad. Piantatia will know this course very well.
Yep. You see on your screens, he's won a World Cup before, so he's got the ability to pull out a special run.
And the French is posed just over the border. It's about a 5-hour drive, but it's not. As the crow flies, it's not too far.
No, for sure.
I think the French actually held their selections this year as well as part of it here in Poo. So
well, their planning is quite spot on, so everything is geared up for next year.
Doing really nicely through the first couple of gates. A really aggressive paddler and can do really special things if he gets the rub of the green.
So when you see a wide angle shot, you see we're coming through a bit of a corner section here. So the water's quite wide, and it goes. The course's name has been shallow and narrow, but it's quite wide here.
Thankfully, they've made some improvements about where he is now, and it's a bit deeper and it flows a bit nicer.
Yeah, tricky corner there to sort of keep the boot running there, but I think he's handled it pretty well.
Oh
no!
Real disaster.
He's got the paddle up, or is he going to paddle up?
He was back for it.
Yeah, it's difficult to. You see, he's just coming down. His right-sided paddler had to try and catch the hole, but his nose had a bit much pressure on it, and when he caught it, it kind of just got sucked under, and the boat stopped rotating nicely.
Didn't know where he was for half a second.
Yeah. It's easy to do, unfortunately.
I think it's about there that Etienne Stock put his shoulder out a few years ago.
Yeah, I think it was there.
Helped out by, was it Batic from the Slovaks? And
I think that was the second time putting his shoulder in.
yeah, that was almost the sign for the end of Tim Bailey's association.
Yeah.
No, but he looked, when he came out of the water, he looked a half a second like, where am I?
Yeah. It's easy to get slightly disorientated when you get a face full of water and things. It's a shame, he's a really special paddler.
So Jake Cochran and Patrick Washer, is this one of the highlights of the season coming here?
I think so. It's definitely my favourite place for sure. The town is absolutely beautiful, and being in the mountains is just very picturesque and stuff. So yeah, definitely one of the best places to come.
Roberto
Colatangari, the second Italian we're seeing down today, very, very strong, very talented.
Oh, for sure. As you saw, he was super talented when he was young, and he's sort of making his way through the senior ranks.
Everyone enjoying his boot design this year with a pizza on the back, but it's good to see different boot designs and stuff. I have to say, mine's a bit boring this year, but it's definitely something people like to see is a bit different than the boots.
And a fraction up on the split.
With a touch as well, so pretty good.
I think with the invention of social media and the TV quality being top, it is an advantage if you're looking for sponsors and stuff to stand out from the crowd.
Yeah,
the best way is to win.
Yeah, definitely.
Apart from that, makes so you look good.
If you can't win, get a good boot design, I think.
Well, he's still in touch. And the Italians, I guess maybe the Daniel Molmenti I'm very powerful model has helped, because all these athletes are really pumped up.
Yeah, they're certainly specimens, and they work super hard, as do all the athletes here. In canoe slalom, it's unique that there's no one way to attain greatness. Everyone has slightly different training philosophies and plans and things.
Touch on the third to last gate there.
It's going to be expensive. So that's at 4 seconds he has to make up on the rest, and there's still 21 athletes to go.
Unfortunately, not going to be enough. Quickest run so far, I think, though.
Now, again, someone who is probably going to expect him to be a medalist.
Yeah, I was super surprised. I think it's the first time. Do you know, Jake, is it the first time he's ever done a second run?
Yeah, probably on the first for sure.
Yeah. He's a real weapon.
I think when you're going into the second runs and you see him on the start line, you're
pretty much accept that there's 9 places.
Well, we saw it in, if you look at them, there's Burgess, there's the real top names there, Martican.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So for the other guys thinking, oh no, we have to try and get one of those 10 places.
Yeah, it was a tough second runs yesterday for sure.
Doing not too badly. Savzek, he won't look too spectacular very often, but he's just always maintaining the speed on his boat and really carrying it nicely.
And of course we have a world champion. Who is the world champion?
Yeah.
1.63 up.
Yeah. Quite often you'll see him be super fast, but he'll happen to pick up a touch or two. I remember a few years ago in Prague, he was on the podium at a World Cup with 3 touches, which is just unheard of.
So he comes.
Perhaps slowing down a bit too much there. You see him not doing any forward strokes.
Yeah, setting up that option a lot, but I guess it's paid off for him.
Yeah, I mean, he's still up on the splits. What would I do? See there, super smooth, super nice. Not much energy is expended in doing it up like that.
How much is talent and how much is practice?
I think talent will only get you so far. I think if you've got it, it's obviously a good base to have, but I think putting in the hard work is pretty key, I think.
Benji Savchek here on Les Cédégel, where the World Championship is going to be held in 2019, is looking good.
Very good. There you go. Getting into the low hundreds times. I think though, don't you agree, Jake, there'd still be a 101 or even a high 100 out there. He wasn't very fast below the bridge.
No, I reckon there's a 100 in there.
Be interesting.
So these are the first athletes that only had 1 run so far.
Yep.
And it's another Slovenian, is Yuri Lenarčić.
He made the final here a few years ago, so he can definitely pedal well on this course. Is he a favourite of yours, Jake? Do you like his style?
I do like watching him, yeah.
Another real physical beast.
Yeah.
Well, he's quite small and compact, isn't he?
Oh, yeah. Really nice boat control. You don't often see his boat sort of wandering from where it's meant to be.
The Slovenians have had a pretty decent season this year in C1 as well, I think. Quite a few finals and plenty of semi-finals there before them. So
definitely one of the superpowers.
Yeah.
In the countries out there.
Well, a little bit back, does that show how good Savchek was?
I think he lost quite a lot of time into that second up, crossing the waves. See a right-sided paddler managing to avoid to do what Pat did a few runs before.
It's quite a tight exit there, coming along the wall from the up left to the upright.
Definitely. Unfortunately, he's slightly down on his countryman.
10 places up for grabs. There's now 19 athletes left.
Yeah, one. Touch, that's unfortunate. Doing that really nicely.
Don't think it's going to be enough for a final today, but pretty decent run, I think.
So far, the top are Savchek, Martican, Burgess, Ivaldi, Borges, Colanziani. So they're all top names. That's not going to do it.
Yeah, touch might have been costly for him.
And Savzek's 2.356 up, so I mean there's still quite a bit of a gap there, first to second.
So we only had 12 athletes, but we're covering all the continents. Go Casey Eichfeld, 3 times Olympian.
Yeah, he makes me feel like a fat slob with the work ethic he puts in. He's really impressive. Can attack for a whole run and really put in some quick runs when he wants to.
I would have thought there'd be more of the righties going forwards there rather than spin, but it seems like maybe looking at from it closer, it's be a better position for a spin, I think.
Yeah, for sure. And perhaps they're not wanting to take too many risks.
Yeah, true, at the very top as well.
I suppose that's part of the fun, isn't it? There's 10 options on every single approach. 1.5, so no mistakes so far and in touch.
And as you'll see, completely different styles to Sebzik, who's the current leader. Casey appears to be putting in a lot more effort, but not really any faster. That was pretty tidy, wasn't it, Jake?
Pretty nice upstream there.
Another nice upstream carrying speed.
Well, really in touch.
Yeah, good enough for a second that at the minute, I think.
I think he had a few years where it was quite frustrating, and in 2015-16 he really broke through and had the confidence to make a lot of finals.
Yeah, I think he's made 2 finals this year in the World Cups, maybe 1, but no, he's been paddling pretty well this year.
And importantly, he expects to make them.
Yeah.
I think, would you agree, Jake, it's kind of quite a turning point once an athlete can believe that they can make it?
Yeah, definitely. I feel, once you can make it, I think you've proved to yourself you can do it, but it's hard to do it again.
2 seconds could be expensive.
Yeah. That was a quick raw time though. Unfortunate about that touch, costing him 2 seconds.
Yeah, quite a few touches going down these runs.
Lucas Rohan, one of the youngest competitors that's right at the top of the game in the world, ranked number 11.
Cut that very close to the rock at the top there, but...
And clearly the family has a connection with this course. His father second in the Olympics in '92.
Was it? Oh, right. Didn't do that.
He came and spent the summer in New Zealand training and racing. He was a really talented paddler and a hard worker.
Fairly phlegmatic at the same time, off course.
Yeah.
Yeah, he can be a character. Doing this not too badly.
Heard you took him down and won the races, did you, Patrick?
Yeah, no, it was my crowning achievement of the season. I think I managed to beat him.
Well done.
He had the kindness to tell me that he had a good run too. Whether it's true or not, I'm not sure.
So he's in touch so far.
Yeah, the closest we've seen to Sebzik yet.
So he's really in your generation, isn't he?
Yeah. I think, is he your age, Jake?
Yeah, I think last year of under 23. Last year of under 23 as well as me.
It's almost a bit unfair when you turn up to the under 23 start line. You see,
you see him in Roski and
doing that quite nicely. You see on the left, opting for a sweep on that hole.
Well, time's dropping back, unfortunately.
Yeah, it just shows how quick Sebzik is. Just once again deceivingly fast.
I think Selfsek was very smooth at the bottom, I think, and it's you think he's going to be you catch that time up, but I think it's going to be very hard at the bottom to sort of make up any time you've lost at the top.
So 23 gates.
Still on for a decent run here, I think.
So Jay Cochran and Patrick Washer, what are the keys so far? What are the keys to do you keep it safe, or do you use, what are the keys to success in this course?
I think it's that middle move on the bridge. Seen a few people coming in below it or coming in touching it with the boy. I think it's keeping it composed around there has been pretty key so far.
But coming off the first lip, it is Marko Mugodowski, another talented athlete.
Oh yeah, he's the future of the sport in Slovakia, I'd say. 19 and just doing amazing things so far. It's crazy. He's always impressive to watch. His boat's always online. He's not awe-inspiring, but his boat's always online. He's always got some good strokes and carrying good speed.
Yeah, I think sometimes you just watch him and you're like, don't think it's going to go that fast.
Oh yeah, yeah. And he's super fast.
Yeah.
But to be fair, you are the best athletes in the world.
Oh, cheers.
You've done your 10,000 hours.
Yeah,
so,
definitely.
Definitely.
And then you see pretty much the same time. 0.01 doesn't count for much.
See how he gets on with this middle move, but bit low into it, but I think he's all right there.
Yeah. His training partner, Jakob Gruger, I'm sure will be watching and cheering him on. Super talented K1 men paddler.
but it's good to see it. There's quite a gap between the legends and the young generation.
Yeah, it's nice to see, JK, the younger ones starting to crack into it.
Yeah, no, it's definitely good to see. And we've probably getting that period where there's a few of the older athletes probably only got a few more years left.
Yeah.
But
particularly though, don't you agree that the sport seems to be like the older ones are, like Peter Cowes is what, like 36, 37? It's still getting better.
Yeah,
And
I think
still winning, you know.
and C1 as well, I think, is probably quite even more severe, like age gap than K1.
For sure.
Martin at 39. And
Yeah.
then you youngsters. Here comes Mark. Good raw time.
Yeah, that might be enough.
Yep. I'll wait and see.
16 left.
This is my favourite. He's a bit of an outside dog, but aged 18, he's a junior. Just made the French senior team, and a real weapon.
Nicolas Justin, who made the final last weekend.
Yeah, I was going to say, very good race last weekend.
Super nice. You'll watch him; he'll always have good posture and always look like he never goes super hard, he never unleashes, but he pedals the same way, the top to the bottom.
I think we have our youngest semi-finalist here.
Oh yeah. Trave might be.
Oh yeah.
Or maybe they're the same age. I can't remember.
I think they're both last year of junior. So.
Oh, okay. But yeah, no, great future ahead for the French program.
And then of course we have Denis Gagoshinou, the Olympic champion, who's had a good time today. I think he's 4th or 5th fastest. We'll be seeing in about half an hour.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how he goes. He's quite good at, I mean, every course, but so he tends to make a final and things. Wow,
well,
nice,
0.53 up.
Yeah, and I mean, you watched it yourselves. There's nothing really startling about it, but he's just so smooth and so fast. Using that really nicely, keeping his weight on his nose so his tail doesn't get under the water, carrying his speed into the up. Another athlete hitting the side there.
Be great to see him make two finals in a row.
Oh, for sure. Still up
again,
on the split. Wow.
I think that's the first person we've seen up in the split.
Yeah.
South Sex before. Bottom one.
Sevzik with a time of 1:02. Who knows what he can do should he hold it together.
With 18, you shouldn't have a problem of energy.
No. He's on for new race leader here, I think.
He's through the hardest part, just as he keep it together for the last two gates.
But crucially clean.
Oh yeah.
Aiming to be in the top 10.
Oh!
Are we going to see
This
it?
is great.
good. Touch the last gate.
That's unfortunate, but I think that should be enough for a final, maybe. Well, still 15 to go, but
Lightning fast. You see, that's the first raw time, of course, of a 100. So, Jake, you might be right.
Yeah,
you might see a sub.
And third, Slovenian to go, Ante Bercic.
Yeah,
He's won here before. He's won here before.
Yeah. 2013, I believe. Won a World Cup here.
we've seen a few touches in that first gate there.
That's unfortunate.
Not a good way to start the run, I feel like.
Well, it comes off the completely flat water, doesn't it? Then just dives down.
Yeah.
It's easy to get a face full of water there too and lose your orientation a bit.
Yeah.
So.
I think it's easy to start chasing the run once you got a touch at the top and trying to cut your lines even more, but generally you've chosen the fastest line so far, like for your course walk and that. So once you start chasing it, it tends to goes a bit wrong.
Yeah, you see he's slightly down on the split there, and a real shame. He's a really talented paddler and could really have done special things.
But to be fair, there is a certain amount of inconsistency. Doesn't make all the finals.
Yeah. Regrettably, that's the nature of the sport. In some respects, it's somewhat easy to get good, but to stay good and stay right at the top of the game is a really difficult thing. Much like how Tiger Woods changed his golf swing about 6 or 7 times over the course of his career, these Slavkovskis and the older dogs, they do evolve and stay present. Slavkovsky, who you'll see later on, is responsible for many of the new innovations and things in boats and pedals and that.
So far, 4 seconds in a row
Yeah.
this season, which is amazing. Anyway, time is not too bad, but 4 early penalty points are going to really put him out of the game, unfortunately.
Yeah, it's slightly unfortunate for Anze. Still a solid run though, nothing to be too disheartened about. Gurbash, another real experienced Czech peddler.
saw him walking the course about an hour ago, and he was looking really relaxed, completely relaxed.
He's been around the block a few times.
Yeah, I think once you have that all that race experience, I think race day just becomes a bit more relaxing, a bit more routine. Yeah.
But there's certain people, I frequently come across David Florence, and he's so in the zone.
Yeah.
So different athletes react different ways. Some need to chat, and some just don't dare.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Some listen to music, some chat to everyone to see. It's interesting. Well, pretty decent start here by Gavas.
Tracking through there, not too badly.
Well, he's known for his strength, isn't he? He's going to keep going all the time.
Yeah, he's 34, but there's no letting up, is there?
No.
Getting a bit close to that wall there, so...
But that's good for you guys. You know, you have another 15 years.
Yeah, definitely.
It's a bit of a daunting prospect,
Yeah.
potentially. I struggle to picture what I'm going to have for tea tonight, let alone what I'm doing in 15 years. Coming in really nice there, doing a really nice smooth up. Around in one turn. Clean too, which is always good. Because
He's really having to do a bit of samba.
he's a bit offline there.
He might still be okay, you know. I think this would be pretty decent run here.
It's a deceptively long sprint to the finish. Into third.
So it's not out of the realms of possibility. So far we do have an asterisk, means there's something being looked at. Savchek first, Nicholas Jestan, the 18-year-old, Martikan Mirgorski, Burgess Uvaldi is still in the running, but there's only 13 left to go.
I think here's one to watch here with Miguel Chave.
Well, local knowledge, I guess.
Yeah, double European junior champion in K1 and C1. I think that's the first time that's happened ever for the men's category. So yeah, pretty special paddler.
Unfortunately, getting a bit offline there because I saw him training earlier in the week, and when he was on, man, he was fast.
He's so light, he just stays on top of the water as well, which helps him a lot. There's an example of probably a great part of weight ratio, but he's struggling a bit with this top half of the course, I think.
Yeah.
And when you see someone like this comes along, you go, oh no.
Yeah.
Or do you think, wow?
Makes you feel a bit silly spending all those hours in the gym.
Yeah.
Well, 2.74 off.
He could still pull this back, paddling well at the bottom, but we'll have to wait and see. Knows the course. Whether he's a young athlete, can he hold his head? That's the question. Might see him light up a little bit here.
Oh, always nice.
Nicest one we've seen yet. Probably made up half a second or so.
Well, there's certainly some noise, and that's what it should be.
Yeah.
There's a lot of maybe 40, 50 youngsters running down
Very nice.
to the left.
I think he'll know this bottom drop like a back of his hand.
Definitely. Slightly unconventional drop that we don't see on many other circuits.
Yeah.
Doing this super nicely. Maybe the best we've seen in the last 5 gates yet.
Well, to be fair, if you live and train here every day,
Yeah.
you should understand it.
I think that might actually be a pretty decent run considering the
for
top
sure.
half.
Oh, the
Where's-
graphics of
Into fourth.
Let's see, 104, fourth place. Possible.
Be great to see him make a final at that age.
definitely.
What's great about this sport is we have no idea how this next coast is going to go.
Yeah.
Absolutely no idea. And there's Lesegi.
Took the first half of the season off actually. Didn't see him about till here. I saw him in training this week. I was like, okay, he's back. There's an extra space gone. Very good paddler.
If he could control his emotions as well as he could control his boat, he'd be up there, wouldn't he?
Yeah.
Local
He's oh, was that sorry, Jack?
good bit of local knowledge here for him as well.
Yeah,
so
sure. You've gone from the youngest member in the Spanish team to the oldest.
the
in the
oldest,
team.
yeah.
The 12-year age gap, but you see it doesn't necessarily mean one's at a disadvantage. Elisegi having is it 3 times? I think he's finished 4th at the Olympic Games.
Yeah, he's almost got hero status, I guess.
Yeah,
Tough position to take, I think.
definitely.
You'd be happy with the first one, and then the second one would be a bit.
See some of the
bit of a
Spanish team cheering him on. Mylan Chareau's coach on the bike, and she'll be a real force to be reckoned with later in the day. The course hasn't changed. The course has had some changes over the course of its existence, but it's relatively similar, so LCQ will know what he's doing.
Feels like it's changed. People were chatting a bit this week saying that it's changed a bit since last year. I didn't notice it too much, to be fair.
Yeah, neither. I think they might make some of it up.
Yeah.
Oh! I think he might have sustained a 50 there.
Yeah.
Oh no, first 50, you don't need that.
Yeah. No, you tend to not be in the finals, the 50s.
That's a
Well,
shame.
it was quite quick though.
Oh,
Well, really fast time, really fast. He'll be gutted. Really disappointed.
Different style, very athletic, and it's Luka Bozic.
Yep. Is he a favourite of yours, Jake?
I do like watching him. Yeah, he's interesting. All blue all the time. And,
Yeah. That super smooth style way. Smooth, but yet aggressive when he needs to be. Another product of the Slovenians program. One of the best ones in the world.
It's weird how you tend to watch only righties. I think if you are a righty or if you're a lefty, you tend to only watch lefties because see what they do and stuff. But there's definitely a few lefties I'd enjoy watching. Bozic being one of them.
Sure, super smooth there. Still pulling hard.
Should be up in the split here, I think. Just down, but
running really nicely through those staggers. You see, putting in not much effort in the boat, staying dry. Oh, controlling it nicely.
Very nice.
Yeah, that could have very easily gone quite poorly.
Just up in the
Slightly up
split
in the
there,
split.
Well, it's very good. The advantage here is the coaches and the athletes have actually had the chance to study the first runs.
Yeah, that's the thing. I think you'll see quite a few athletes who are off last watching the first few runs and seeing what's happening and that sort of thing. So
And have there been any key choices to make, or is everything fairly predictable so far?
I think everything's been pretty predictable. Maybe the fourth gear with whether it's a spin or forward for righties, but I think there's not much choice in it. But it's going to be a very, very fast run, this.
May see a new leader. I think we
Luka
will.
Bozic, can he go? Yes.
Nice.
Wow,
Nice.
really nice run. I'd be pretty confident in saying that's time for the finals.
Yeah. We had a few finals this year, him, I think.
Yeah, he's a talented peddler. Slivkowski, we'll talk about him a second ago. Bounces around the top world rankings, so we'll have to see how he goes.
And the athlete representative of the ICF, so if you have any problems or any suggestions, go to
He's your man.
or Jess Fox. Let's see how he goes today. So I guess safely around the first bit.
Yeah, slightly slow, but he won't be too
There's someone going forward.
worried. Doing that really nicely.
I think definitely someone you'd expect to see in every final. Touch wood, we'll probably see him again today.
Well, he's come second, hasn't he?
Second,
Each of the,
second each of them.
each of them.
Is he still in a position to win it?
Yes, he's leading by 16 points from
Is he?
Tassiadis. So it was Tassiadis.
Oh,
Who's actually won the
Oh,
majority.
yeah, I would have thought Tassiadis would have been the leader. I didn't
No,
realise,
because he's second.
unfortunately.
You have 55 points
There we
for
go.
second and
Yeah,
60 for first.
very much in touch. 0.1, virtually no difference. Doing that quite nicely.
See something special here.
Opting for a safer line. Travo being the only one we've seen try to go
Yeah.
under the poles. Slightly surprising, would you say, Jack?
Yeah, I think people seem to be going wide and around it there, but yeah, going underneath it seems to be a quick line, but it's a bit more risky, I think. Oh, is that a touch on? I'd say he should be able to absorb that.
No, we need Alexander Stavcek to make the final, please.
I think he might be coming in maybe a 104 or so.
This might be tight for him.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a bit of a shock.
Yeah, he's realising the World Cup overall may be slipping from his reach.
I guess, yeah. Here's Franz Anton. He Looking forward to his 7th World Championships in a few weeks' time.
Real pocket rocket of the sport.
And wifey Rebecca's taking the photographs for the German Federation this weekend.
Oh yeah.
They are, by the way, she told me yesterday, they're actually the current C2 mixed German champions.
Oh really?
But they won't go together anymore because they argue. Anyway, let's see how Franz Anton goes today.
Great photographer himself as well.
Exactly.
Franz Anton.
We've actually done a portrait, filled a portrait of him, so 2 or 3 days you'll have a lot more very quality views of him. Anyway, let's see how he's going today.
Okay, in the top third, I think. Should be in touch with the split, I think.
He just appears to kind of never get tired.
Yeah.
It's quite a...
Yeah, but
virtual.
I think if you look at the work these guys put in, when talking to them, they're just so disciplined in everything they do.
He had a great result in Tassin last week as well. I think that was his first medal for quite a while. I think you'd see him in plenty of finals. But yeah, last week I think that was his first medal in a few years.
And then they got the German Championships in a couple of days, so it never stops.
Yeah.
Well, off the pace today, 3.9 down.
Yeah, it's unfortunate.
Don't really know what's gone wrong there. I think you wouldn't really see 4 seconds going from him from that top half.
With Luka Bozic just qualified too, so there's only 9 spots left. Quite a lot of spread though within the top few positions. So
Well, shouting's not going to be enough today, unfortunately.
Second goal.
yeah, we'll have to be lucky to get through with a time like that.
There are some big names to come.
Definitely.
But it's not over until it's over. Matti Benish next to Gay. He's had a quiet season by his standards.
Yeah.
4th on team, I think. So he's been at quite a few World Cups, I think. No World Championships for him this year, I don't think.
Yeah, unfortunately. He was a real special athlete for probably that, 2016 season?
Yeah, he was very much just dominating all the time.
Oh, yeah, it was phenomenal, wasn't
And then what was great in the 2000, was it last year, he actually entered in Pole. He entered the Wild Water as well as the Slalom, and did rather well there as well.
Maybe we'll see him do that next year as well. I think the Wild Water is racing here too.
It's possible.
Do you fancy giving that a go, Patrick?
Wild Water?
Yeah.
No, you have to be far too athletic for that.
Well, there's a sprint, which is quite fun.
True. I don't fancy a sprint around that corner in a big long boot.
No, thanks.
So let's see how Matti Benish goes.
Well, interesting setup for that.
Nicely through there on the right.
He's one of those athletes that can run a really special race sometimes.
Yeah, for sure.
I remember we used to quite often see him in semis floating to the finish line.
Yeah,
perhaps
to keep it
slight arrogance.
Not sure if he'll quite be able to do that today.
But with the Tatson situation last weekend, it's not always wise to do that.
No,
that's true.
Last weekend in Tatson, unfortunately, there was so much rain they had to cancel the not for the C1, they had to cancel the K1 men the second day, and so their winner was the fastest in the heats.
Good win for wasn't it Slovenian partner?
Yeah,
K1?
Zen came through.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's see how he goes. He has the power.
Costly
It's going
touch.
to be close. You need to come in less than, well, at the moment, 105. Could be. It's starting to be a bit. There's an asterisk next to his name.
He may well get in there.
It's just come off then.
Oh, there we go. Gaston as well.
So it's going to be interesting that Martikin and Benish have exactly the same time. So he could have an 11-man final. Good for the others. Stefanos Cipresti, one of the few double world champions? Or the only one, maybe?
No, I think Lefebvre is too.
Yeah. I believe Lefebvre is racing the Worlds this year in Rio.
Yeah. Making a bit of a comeback.
Yeah.
Cipresti's was one of the first men to swap coming from his K1 background.
Yeah.
And you see quite often now a lot of the younger paddlers, the juniors, the under 18s, they're doing it too.
He's one of the few athletes in the C1 category that do switch, C1 men category that do switch a lot, I think. But as I said earlier, we're starting to see that a bit more often.
We need to do something today. 2 second penalties and over 3 seconds down, which is not going to cut it. So far, Luka Bozic has qualified, Benny Savchek and Nikola Jestin, second time in a row.
Yeah,
wow.
very good.
Crazy. It's quite resembles the makings of a Tony Eastonville or something.
Yeah.
Something similar.
You can see on the Italians are walking down, not too confidently, unfortunately.
Yeah, the runs kind of just got away from him a bit, I think, from the top bit. But we'll see what we can do in these last 5 gates. There's not much time to be made in the last 5 gates, so.
Yeah, no, it's difficult there. Oh,
No, he's okay.
a bit of flying.
No, you need to be under. Technically, Adam Burgess at the moment is sitting in 10th place with 3.67 off, 105. No, not today.
A few athletes are going to be a bit gutted about their touches, I think. Would have started to put them in, I think.
He's a countryman of yours, Jake.
So Jake
Oh,
Cochran
happy
is
days,
going to
yeah.
comment on. Yeah, good on you.
No, it's
You
great.
could be as biased as you like.
No, great result in the quals for them yesterday, 6th. So, yeah, very happy to see him do that. I think he had a bit of a hip injury around the under-23 Worlds, and he had to miss that, but he's come back pretty inspiringly, and he came 5th at the under-23 Euros. So,
And you guys are going to the Worlds in Brazil.
yeah, we are. It should be a good trip. That I think Liam himself didn't know if he was going to be able to do that with the injury midway through the season, but I think he's in a good position now. And up in the split, maybe.
Yeah,
Happy
wonderful.
days.
So we
Wow.
have an Irish leader, which is great to see.
Let's hope he can hold it.
Be great to see him in the final, I think.
It'd be real special. Doing that really nicely too.
So have you spoken to him over breakfast?
I haven't seen him this morning. No. Where he stays in his van, so he does. So
A
we were
good little
staying in the
setup,
front
doesn't he?
A little bit
bit
of
costly
time
that,
lost.
but I think that's okay.
However, we see there's quite a bit of spread in the top 10.
Yeah,
So
we've got about 2.5 seconds for qualifying at the minute.
doing that nice on the left.
So you guys training most of the time in Ireland?
I actually
Nottingham.
I train in Nottingham myself. Last year, uni going into it this year. So Liam himself is in Poo. So I think getting on the whitewater course is very key for us.
There's going to be a
So
sick.
Liam Jago from Ireland is
come on.
putting forward a wonderful run. Is it going to be enough? Needs to be. Oh no.
Come on. That was a great top half.
Yeah, he'll take a lot of positives out of that.
Well done, Ireland.
Yeah, I think he'll be a bit disappointed about that touch at the end there, but I think overall happy enough.
Next to go,
Another young
former
athlete.
junior world champion is Cédric Joly from France.
Notably, I think Michael Trave just qualified for the final
Oh,
too.
did he? Yeah.
Another young name in there. So
Two-
it's,
So
two
two 18-year-olds so
juniors.
far.
it's going to be real interesting to see how everything goes. Cédric Joly, another one of really high calibre if he holds it together and gets the run that he wants. He's a real special peddler. Doing superbly in the junior ranks, double junior world champion.
Yeah.
However, had a knee injury and he couldn't pedal for a long time. And he's kind of just getting back to really world
Because you
class.
actually, for people who can't see, well, none of us can see, you're actually kneeling in the boat here.
Yeah. Some can last longer than others, but I think quite often other people have different height of seats. So it's a good category.
The Cédric Joly from France so far, as we see, is up on the rest. This is the semi-final, and already 6 places have been allocated. So 4 athletes to go, and they're all top athletes.
Yeah, for sure.
We might see him up in the second split here, I think. Just on.
Fraction down.
He's actually paddling a new boat to what he was paddling at the start of the season. Same model, I think, but seems to have got a new one. Maybe preparing for the Worlds.
So how does it work? Have your boats been shipped out yet?
No, we're actually flying with them. Fingers crossed that they actually make it on the plane, but you take a bit of risk with it actually.
You just take 1 boat each.
Yeah.
I think
Well,
we-
Cédric, well, sorry to cut you off, but he's doing a cracking run here.
Yeah,
we're seeing
no, very
a
good
finals time.
This should be enough.
Definitely.
Yeah.
And to fourth. Well done.
2 Frenches in the final. And
And
Denis
possibly a
Gago
third,
Canoe
yeah.
next to go. Olympic champion. No pressure, mate.
Yeah. He hasn't done, that's one of Cedric's first finals, I think. I don't think he's done many.
No, he finalled in Krakow. He might have finalled in Augsburg as well.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, maybe not. Maybe
Let's see how this smooth operator, who doesn't really train much on slalom courses, does he? He trains on the sea.
Yeah, trains in Marseille, isn't it?
Yeah.
I know his coach did some power testing with him, and he had like the best power stats that he'd ever seen.
Yeah.
Yeah. Even though his skin folds aren't super lean, he's
Yeah,
super strong.
You said that, yeah.
I mean, if it's good enough to win the Olympics, losing a lot of time there.
Bit of trouble there.
He'll really need to sort something out if he's to join his fellow Frenchman in the final.
He's made it up a bit somehow, but
Well, 1.66.
not too far off. I think I would still be finals pace.
Definitely. I think being a lefty, you're at a slight advantage over the next sort of 10 gates.
Yeah, that was lovely there.
Really good there.
Expect to make up some time.
Yeah. Setting it up like, oh, getting a bit out of sorts there, a bit out of shape.
Keeps it clean though. He was 1.3 off 1.7, so it's still doable because we have 3 seconds between first and.
Yeah. Should he maintain this sort of level of run, he'll be in the final.
See how he gets on with this is on the crossbar here. Very nice.
Bringing it back nicely. Oh, getting a little bit out of sorts there. Go on, mate.
He should be okay.
Maybe even challenge. Oh, no.
Go, Denis.
There we go.
And makes the final. 3 Frenchies in the final so far. Wow. It's almost
Impressive.
unfair. So the top 2 are Slovenian. Nicolas Gestin, Cedric Joly from France, Denis Canoe from France. And then we have a Czech and a Spaniard. And now to go is Great Britain's Ryan Wesley, he's cool, calm, and just really puts in results all the time.
Definitely one of my favourite paddlers to watch. I think can take a lot from his powerfulness to his paddling.
There's no drama, is there?
No.
Go down.
Yeah. I think very technically good, very strong. Just great paddler all around.
Serious operator, medalled at the 2015 Worlds and things.
Yeah.
And you're talking about talent before. This is a bloke with some of the biggest talent out there.
Yeah, I think so.
So we're saying he's quite good.
Yeah.
He's not bad.
1.83 off the pace at the moment, and has a good support crew running down.
Yeah, no, I saw his girlfriend and co were here yesterday, so I'm sure they'll be cheering him on.
The challenge is they have to go right back to the top again to cheer on David Florence in 2 minutes.
Yeah. Doing that really
That
nicely.
was good. That was the best we've seen so far.
Yeah.
Making up time. It's okay. It's safe.
1 second. It'll be difficult for him to take the win on the right at the bottom here. Seeing gate 17 on the crossbar, it takes a lot longer. Oh, actually, maybe not.
Nice. Yeah.
In theory, it should take longer.
Yeah.
Sayed Egel, 2018 World Cup final. Double points at stake, and Ryan is still in there.
Ryan's still in there for the. Yeah. Could he win it
and
still?
I think
theoretically, if everyone else falls off.
I think he'll be a leading time this maybe.
This is going to be the fastest time. Are we going to see under no? Sorry, not the fastest, but safely in there.
A little bit slow through the last couple of gates.
So it still is. Franz Anton is in 9th. Mate Benish is in 10th at the moment. We do know that Miguel Tave, Vitas Gerbas, Denis Canoe, Ryan Wesley, Cedric Joly, Nicolas Gestin, Benjamin Savsek and Luka Bojic have qualified. And the top man is, no doubt about it, recently is Sidiris Tasiadis.
Yeah. He's had some really superb form this season, Jake?
Yeah, another favourite to watch, I think, for himself. Even though he is a lefty, but it's
Curse of being a lefty.
Yeah.
He just knows how to win, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Notably, there's been some evolution in the sport that we no longer have traditional life jackets. However, City is one of the only ones I see who still has it, and he's ironically world number 1.
And there's 2 or 3 centimetres in there.
Yeah, you see him. He's noticeably fat. Well, he appears fatter. He's not than the others.
Yeah, you don't see. I think he's the only one you really see these days growing it.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Up on the split, so I mean, who knows? Could keep his run going.
Just shows it's important, but not if you're amazing.
Yeah, well, I think some people like the philosophy of not being that close to the gates around where your point seal is. So or don't think there's need to be. So I think he's one of them, and seems to be working for him okay.
Yeah, he'll be regretting that up just before though. He came in really low.
Yeah.
Losing
He's
good
well off the
second.
pace though, well off the pace.
Yeah,
Now
there you
this is
go.
going to be tight. He needs to be less than 104, which is 3 seconds off, so he needs to really accelerate now. Sirius Tasiadas. Will he be aware, do you think, that it's going wrong?
He'll be aware that he messed up a little bit. He knows what's happening. And some speakers, some athletes quite often hear the commentator and hear the splits.
Yeah.
I think.
He might still be
Do
okay
we-
for the final.
Yeah, I
here.
think maybe a 104 or so.
Well, we're going to have a German in the final, just who's it going to be? Great last few meters. We just don't know. We just
Might
don't
have
know.
2 Germans in the
We
final.
do
Oh,
know
we do.
that Franz Anton is now qualified.
He'll be uncomfortable knowing that Dave Florence is still to come.
Dave Florence, the ultimate professional.
Yeah, a veteran of the sport and maybe even the hardest worker out there.
Yeah.
For a while there, he was doing C1 like you're watching on your screen, C2 with his partner who's now his coach, and C1 sprint.
Be interesting to see if he's going to switch in this run here. I think he switched yesterday.
That's
and,
correct.
Seemed to do him okay.
Going really nicely at the top here. One of the best ones we've seen. You're at a slight.
Oh, there we
you go.
Yep.
It's interesting to see someone who's kind of probably for the last 10 years not done any switching or even thought about it. In the last sort of 2 years, you see him starting to bring it in a bit more.
Yeah.
But a lot of training over the winter in
Yeah.
switching. Didn't bring it in the first World Cup. And 1.2 seconds up.
Wow.
This is a semi-final, but it's one place available to go into the final.
Yeah. Sedaris will be.
Oh, no. It's gone wrong. It's all gone wrong.
all wrong. That's a real shame. We could have been seeing a really special run in the making.
1.2 up, and then suddenly it's just all gone wrong.
Has there been a change there?
So City will be fairly happy, I'd say.
Yeah, 2 Germans in the final. No,
There's
Franz
just, yeah, I
Anton.
think there was a change somewhere.
Where we come in, we have Alexander Slakowski's up there.
Sedaris not making it too. That might be interesting for the overall standing. I think.
Yeah, of course.
Wow.
Yeah, Sedaris and Slavkovsky, I think are going to.
Battle it out.
Yeah, I don't know who's going to. Who else going to go to.
Slavkovsky's going to be in the best position. So who's just come up with?
Well,
Well, no, it's all
Slavkovsky,
gone wrong for
yeah.
David Florence, unfortunately. So the 10 qualified, no asterisks next. Franz Anton comes in, Miguel Tave, Vitas Gerbers, Alexander
I
Slavkovsky,
think he had a touch taken off. You know.
yeah, Denny Gago, Canoe, Ryan Wesley, Cedric Joly, Nicola Gestin, Benjamin Savsek, and Luka Bozic. Wow.
There we go.
Well, I've just seen the George and Jill, the parents, on the other side. Can't really believe it.
It's a real shame.
Who's that top athlete?
Sam Curtis, there he is.
There's a jacket.
Looking very fashionable.
There's a jacket.
Awesome to see some of those young Frenchies like you're seeing on your screen. Cedric Joly making it through to the final.
Very tight race, and there only 3 seconds in it. So
Yeah, for sure. With other athletes like JP Boris you see on your screens nudging into the semis, they'll still be really happy.
yeah,
I don't think Pat will be so happy.
Well, we saw 3 of the top guys just taking the 50s. Amazing.
Yeah, real shame.
So tips for the top: Jake Cochran, Patrick Washer. Who are the dangerous medalists?
In a final, anything can happen. you
yeah.
know,
I reckon Alexander's probably
yeah.
a solid bet for there.
I'd like to say Michael Trave. He's 18. He's young. It's his home course. Who knows what could happen if he
It would
gets
be
a
good
hot
to see.
start.
Be good to see one of the junior guys in there making it.
Look at the guys who've missed out: Sidus Tasiadis,
Some big
Mate
names, yeah.
Bennett, Mikkel Martikan,
Burgess
Adam
as well.
Burgess in the top 10th to 15th place.
Yeah,
Wow.
definitely. We're seeing a slight changing of the guard, perhaps, in the sport.
Maybe not.
Yeah, maybe. You never
Well,
know, though. You never know.
Certainly today, if that happens in the world, it's going to be revolutionary.
For sure.
Guys, it's been really good to have you this morning. Thanks
Yeah, absolute
so
pleasure.
much for coming in. It's been great. We're going to move on to the women in a couple of minutes. So I'll let you guys go, and the action continues.
Thank
Cheers,
you.
Thank you.
What a surprise, hey? These are the 10 athletes who've qualified for the finals. So, Bozit Sajcev, Justin Joly, Wesley, Gagoshinu, Slavkovsky, Gerbas, Drave, and Anton have made it through from 30 athletes. They're going to be competing in about, what time is it now? 10 o'clock. About 2 hours' time in sunny Spain. So that was a huge, look at that. Tasiadas, Benesh, Martican, Mirgorski, Burgess, Valdi, Rowan, Eichfield, Nenarchik and Cipressi. That could have been a final in itself. So it's going to be really fun to watch which one of those athletes regroups. We have different generations in it, the young, exciting athletes to the more experienced ones. So we have everything we actually need to make this a cracking competition. We're now looking to go for the K1 women. And here is the starting lineup of the athletes. There's going to be 30 athletes performing. And you can see the names from yourself. We have all continents represented. These are the athletes who have performed reasonably well in the heats, that come through the first heats and the second heats. And Anna Sotillo was the star of the day yesterday. She qualified first in the K1 and then qualified second in the C1. So we're going to talk you through the action. A little bit of a change in the guard now. We have going from some C1 athletes, we've brought in some K1 athletes. And ladies, good morning to you.
Good morning. Good morning. How are you?
Yeah, we're good. We've had a lot of fun so far. So we do have Sage Donnelly and Seo Jacobi. So you are both, well, Seo, you are a technical expert because you live here.
Yes, we've been living here for officially 1 year now. It's really exciting.
And so we're going to follow the action of the athletes who are trying to qualify. And this is Florence Mahou from Canada. Let's see how she performs today. Talk us through the specificities of this course.
Well, Florence is a very experienced athlete, so she'll definitely lay down a solid run. Got a tricky course here today, it looks like, but still flowing pretty smoothly with the water.
See, coming down the first section with the men, we didn't see too many problems in the C1, but clearly this is where the athletes are sitting down. But there's an early penalty on gate number 4.
But keeping it nice and tight around that up gate, trying to make it back up some time, unfortunately getting a touch.
Well, 2 penalties so far. We actually saw some of the men taking 50s. I guess that's all to do with pressure, because we didn't see many 50s in the heats yesterday.
Definitely a lot of pressure trying to cut those lines to make that tight cut into 10th place, but sometimes just a little too tight can cost you.
Seo Jacobi, we've seen gate 13 on the up, one of the crucial features today. Is that something regularly set for training?
It is. It's a tough move every day, though. The water is always changing there. It's a really technical move.
So we'd expect to have home advantage. What we're seeing this year is because 2019 is going to be the host of the World Championships, where quota place is going to be allocated to the Olympic Games, a lot of athletes seem to spend a lot of time here and know the course well.
Yeah, definitely been a lot of athletes actually moving here. I know a couple Canadians who have actually rented a house for a year, all year next year. So it's pretty cool to see.
So you got yourself a community, Seo?
Yeah, it's been really fun to have everyone around. It makes it super exciting on the water and off the water.
Well, first athlete down, Florence Mahou. Well, a bit frustrated there. So let's get it out of the way. Seo, you dislocated your shoulder for the second time. How's it going?
I did. I just had surgery 1 month ago, and I just finished my first week of rehabilitation with the hospital.
Well, let's hope it goes well. And now we have on our course one of the real stars, Klaudia Zolinska, who had to go through the second heat to qualify, but she's a real one of the favourites, I guess. Made the final last week.
For sure, super strong paddler. Got to see her all year this year. Beautiful, super fast, and unfortunately picking up a touch, but if anyone can make up that 2 seconds, it'll be her.
And so during the off season, look at that, 5 seconds up. Say, is it always busy every day, this course?
Yes, so many people, so many sessions. Every session we always have has at least 20, 30 people in every session.
Wow. So you can see some overhead pictures here. Say the channel, which is narrow and shallow. Concrete base. So you don't have that much flexibility to where to put the courses, but so far 5 seconds up, but only the second athlete to go. See some athletes actually walking down. And there's plenty of spaces. We have the public on the river right, and the athletes and officials and photographers and stuff on the river left.
Yeah, definitely super nice to not have to fight with all the crowd when you're trying to learn the course and everything. So really cool how they set things up here.
But some athletes running down the course, so it's quite dangerous almost, I think.
It is. Sometimes you get a little road rage and get run over or get run over. But, you know, it's good. Just listen for all the people cheering and stay away from the border.
Okay, Roz Lawrence, who is one of the senior citizens now of the Tour. Still under 30, but has been around for, the last 12, 13 years at this level. Just great consistency.
Yeah, such an amazing, strong paddler. Put down a lot of super good races and really fast.
The challenge for Roz is there's so many other great things to do when you're around here. There's climbing, there's all sorts of stuff. You keep focused.
Yeah, definitely a great all-around athlete. I believe she was a ninja warrior at one point.
Yeah, it did rather well as well. There's a few of them. I suppose it's normal because you have massive strength to weight ratio, or power to weight ratio, so it's a bit normal in the way that you're completely rounded athletes. Well, 1.54 up, clean though.
Clean, definitely important, and if she can keep it clean and smooth on the bottom, definitely can be able to make up some time.
Always a challenge there.
Oh,
Oh, we've seen that
glitching.
so often. We saw David Florence do it. We've seen Pierre-Antoine Thiard do it. But she just lost a little bit of time.
Covering quickly though and keeping it clean and that upright in the hole, definitely tricky to do.
Well, 3 seconds off the pace. There's some most of the world's top athletes have actually made it through to the semis, so it's going to be really tough.
Yeah, even the semis cut was so hard, and Roz pulling out a beautiful run on second runs and showing what she got in semifinals.
Really using the water well in gate 19.
And you feel they've made a good use of the features here, setting out the gates?
Absolutely. I think this is one of the most important courses to really use the water, because if you're not with the water, it's hard to use.
Well, she's not happy there. Moves into first place. So it's about 9 or 10 cubic meters of water coming down per second. And Natalia Limpia-Pacinepik from Poland. Again, a lot of these athletes have been at the top level for the last 10 years or so now.
She's having a very good top half so far, keeping it clean and smooth, opting for a nice direct here. Interesting to see how the athletes are choosing to direct and spin when and where.
That's going to be interesting. Did she manage to get the head under completely?
To see what the judges say about that.
Well,
but
normally they have a
definitely
specific
fast.
camera on each of the ups, so it's something, but 2.7 up so far. Keeping it safe, crucially under 13, so they come under the bridge. That's the footbridge where the one of the judges are, to make sure that everything is okay. They're responsible for several of the gates, but 7.5 seconds up.
Wow, super fast run so far, and keeping it clean, definitely important. And still just on fire towards this bottom part of the course.
Look at the teeth, they're really gritting it there. Could this be the first time of reference?
Definitely has potential to be if she can keep it nice and smooth through these last few gates, which she definitely can.
We saw the men coming around in 1A1. I wonder what's going to be the top women. Maybe similar. So the Netherlands have got a good representation here, and it's Lina Tunissen. Let's see how she performs at the moment. And since Martina Wegman's been dragging them forward, the Dutchies have got some really solid depth of field now, especially the women's.
Yes, they definitely do. Lena has been making quite a few semifinals this year and has been paddling very well. So it's super cool to see that they've all stepped it up a good bit and see if she has what it takes to make it into the finals today.
So we can just hear the speaker being the 1992 Olympic champion. We all call him Joe, you call him Daddy.
Yeah, that's my dad, sitting right next. He's sitting right over there.
So let's see how the course is going at the moment. It's quite dirty brown, I suppose, because it's rained a bit in the last few days. When it hasn't rained for quite a while, there's a challenge that you need to pump the water. It's lovely and clean, with plenty of water here, but it's quite brown. Bit off the pace at the moment.
A little bit off the pace, but still looking like a solid run. She probably won't be too upset with it, but might not be enough, unfortunately. We'll have to see this.
30 athletes in it, 10 go forward to the finals in about 2 hours' time.
Definitely a brutal cut, especially with how many amazing athletes are here this weekend.
And this really is a week's festival, isn't it? Because most of you athletes arrive quite early. You're all based in the village or the town, I suppose it is.
Yes, it's been super fun here, longboarding every day to the course, and just an amazing little town. You can walk everywhere, and super fun place to be.
Has your house been busy this week, Sayo?
It has been. Just this past week, actually, an athlete from New Zealand has been living with us.
Fair point. Okay, let's see how young Kate Eckhart. But she's taken out gate 4. That's not going to help. Certainly comfortable with all types of water, and a great climber as well.
Yeah, Kate, definitely an awesome all-around athlete. Super strong, super fast and light on that water.
So we saw Ros Lawrence come down, didn't do what she wanted. Can Kate Eckhart? And then clearly we have Jess Fox a bit later.
Yeah, super strong Australian.
Very slight
team
as well.
here.
Very slight athlete, but very strong. Well, 5 off the pace, needs to do something at the moment. We've only had 6 athletes gone. No one's really taken on the course yet.
Having a bit of trouble there in that up left, but getting right back on the pace again, see if she can keep it up.
In this section of the course especially, it's crucial to keep the boat flat and moving.
Definitely important to keep it flat and definitely tricky to keep it moving, but super, super fun, and she's managing it just fine. Ooh, unfortunately picking up a touch almost at the bottom of the course, but
Well, 6 seconds off, Kate, not looking happy. But you never know what's going to happen. 6 athletes gone. So it's Ashley Nee. Tell us something about Ashley Nee, Sage Donnelly, your compatriot.
Ashley's an amazing paddler. She's been on the World Cup circuit since I can remember, as long as I've been doing slalom. Super strong, super nice lady to train and paddle with, and she's definitely hungry for a final, so we'll see what kind of run she can put down. And she actually just came back. She took a little break after the Olympics for a year, and this is her first year back competing after that. So she's had I consider, a pretty good year, making quite a few semifinals. So
let's see, she's taking quite the wide angle, 1.76 off, and it's crucially clean so far.
definitely, and as we've seen, you can make up quite a bit of time on this bottom section.
This has
how
been
you
the
hit it.
crucial killer move for some athletes.
Definitely,
under the
she
bridge
manages
13.
it pretty smooth. Going in for a very tight move on the up gate 14 and keeps it clean, which is super good. Still a bit behind though. I'll have to pick it up a little bit. So I'm sure you probably knew Ashley long before I do, because you were in the slalom scene way before I was. Anything to say?
She's been around since I can remember. Has always been a big sister. It's been fun to watch her grow and paddle and see where she is now.
Well, in theory, so she's your direct competition, you two.
I don't really see her as competition. We're all just out here paddling and trying to do our best runs, so.
But direct competition. Lucy Badu had some great results and then had some tears. So I think she medaled in Krakow. Had a few tears in Augsburg. Great competitor. And the Frenchies, the men, have inspired us. We've had Cedric Joly and Nicolas come through to make the C1 final. Great balanced paddler here.
Yeah, it's actually been really cool. We've had training sessions with the French pretty much all year, and watching her train is absolutely incredible. She's so strong and so fast, and definitely pushes super hard, just like she is right now. Over 4 seconds ahead on the
And
first
rather good
split.
actors as well. We've been doing some video stuff with the French team, and they're all up for it. They're great characters.
Nice move into 13, keeping things fast there on the exit.
Six seconds up now. This is the first really run that we can be proud of. Or she can rather be proud of.
Yeah, hopefully she'll be happy with this if she can keep it clean for sure. Definitely fast time so far, and still getting faster.
Beautiful upright.
So how would you say her style? She's powerful.
Yeah, her style is definitely powerful. Like, every stroke is moving the boat so much. And look at this sprint right here. She's going to
we have a
the
new
boat
leader.
moving.
Good run. 107. This still doesn't know where the cameras are, though. I bet some of the other athletes will certainly make sure they know where the camera's in the end.
Oh, definitely.
And Victoria Uz from Ukraine. Let's see how the Ukraine team go. Good start, really flying down.
Yeah, definitely a good start, keeping that boat moving and managing the spin pretty well.
So, yeah, which is your favourite move on this course, and do we have it set today?
Favorite move? Yes, actually 4-5 is one of my favorite moves on this course.
So they're about a metre apart, aren't they? Different sides of the water, but very close.
Yeah, it's so interesting to decide between a spin or a direct there. It's really is how to make it easy.
Well, 2 seconds off the pace, but we've just seen a really top run by Lucy Badu. And some athletes are making this look easy, just taking the wave, and then others, really experienced athletes, are having all sorts of troubles. What's the key there?
For this course, it really is about using the water, finding, timing. It's all about timing.
Is it consistent under 13?
No, I think you really need to watch the water and decide where you're going to put that stroke once you're there.
Well, it's looking good. She's way down in the first split, but came down to 0.7 off on the second split.
still managing to keep it clean, which is very impressive. Definitely what you want, especially here. One touch can make or break your time.
Well, putting together an honourable score, moves into second place. Now we have a athlete who's one of the best in the world, certainly at C1, Mallory Franklin from Great Britain. See how she can come forward.
Mallory Franklin's definitely one of my favorite paddlers. I love watching her race, and super powerful and always really good and consistent. So.
And she's like you too. She's very young. She was very good.
Already starting out with the top of the course, really fast, really strong.
That's great.
Keeping it super tight around that up. That'll definitely
What I
help
love
her
about
time.
watching Mallory is you just focus on the eyes. They're like lasers.
Yeah, she's focused and always knows exactly where she wants to put that boat.
And as we see by the time, slightly up. But there's only been 9 athletes gone so far, so it's going to be, again, the disadvantage of she couldn't see any of her competitors come down. One of the first to go.
I think that was one of the best up left 13s we've seen, though. That was so tight.
Yes, I think it's the best everything we've seen so far. 1.5 seconds
True.
up. And really just using she has the confidence to always be in the zone. She knows exactly what's going to happen 2 seconds later. Looks controlled, always setting forward. This is the best run so far.
Just right in and out of that up.
Unless something goes wrong, we're looking at a finalist.
Very, very nice run right there. Super close to some of the men's times, which is fantastic.
And
She should
looks
be
like
super
she's
happy.
given it her all, isn't she? Really has. Now here's an athlete who's not bad either. Karina Kunle.
Tony putting down an amazing run last week in Toxin, taking the gold home. Just a super strong, powerful athlete.
Going for a direct there.
Now that's instinct. Again, she'd very much be expecting to make the final.
Definitely expected to make the final, but as we've seen in Slalom, literally anything can happen, unfortunately, but she's always super solid, so I do expect her to throw down a pretty fast run right now.
Well, crucially clean. Is she fast? Not really, but it's okay. She won't have a problem with the energy. And although I can't speak for these athletes, but this is really important to win points and have the overall classification, but the Rio is going to be also in the back of the mind. Rio World Championships are taking place from the 29th, I believe, so what, 3 weeks' time.
Yeah, so I was talking to an athlete last night who said he's only going to be home for 1 day before he makes the trip down to Rio, so athletes definitely are ready.
Karina Kunle managing her force. And not much has been happening, not much time or penalties have been changing hands in this last. Once you're actually under the drop, it's almost too late to make anything up. Could she go into first? Very close. Second rank. Again, doesn't know if it's going to be enough. What's your gut feeling, girls?
I think it'll definitely be close, but it might be enough.
Okay, not risking too much. So Eva Terchel. Again, she's won here before. Is it 212 or 213 she won here? And that's what really pushed her forward. I think she won 2 in a row. From Slovenia, so obviously has had a busy, stressful week last week and then came here to relax.
Not sure how much she's actually relaxing, though, because we are getting ready for World Championships here next year, so I think everyone's really wanting to put down their best runs to feel good coming into the race next year.
Fair point. I was going to say, if you can't relax in the atmosphere here, you're going to have a challenge anyway. Well, 1.39, so that's okay. It's just that everything's set up to chill, isn't it? For your slalom world, this is a perfect location. It's beautiful scenery, village really close. Everyone's staying in pretty much the same square kilometre.
Yeah, it's definitely one of my favorite places to stay just because it's so easy just to go hang out with everyone and go get dinner and all that.
And say, when everyone goes home, do you get depressed?
It's so sad when everyone leaves, but it's cool because we have a community of athletes who stay here pretty much year-round. But this is definitely the best time of the year when everyone's here.
Iveta Chel from Slovenia putting together a solid run. We saw slightly down in the split. Does she look in control?
She's having a solid run, no touches, and she looks like she's in control of her boat. We'll see what the time says.
Fourth place, that's going to be awkward.
Yeah, definitely not really the spot you want to be sitting in right now, but we'll have to see what happens. I do think those times are going to be getting tighter and tighter as the more people come down, but we'll have to see.
And it's Barbara Valikova from the Czech Republic. Fairly new to the international scene. So the strength of depth is so incredibly strong in the Czech Republic.
Right on that wave.
And you can see by her numbers, she's quite highly ranked. When you see pictures like this, how long did it take you to identify where we are on the course? About half a second?
About really, really quick. This is a very distinct course.
So it's powered when the water level's low by a hydroelectric plant of their own pump. 1.53 off the pace.
Not too bad so far. Could definitely make up that time around here, but we'll have to see. Keeping it
Punting off the wall. And what about the volunteers? Is there like is it just the local club will say, okay, who wants to come in, or is there a campaign that goes through the city, or how does it work?
It is a local club, Club Caddy, here in La Seu d'Urgell. Every athlete who's a part of the club and is not competing is volunteering at this race.
You were doing some volunteering yesterday. You were in the complaints department.
Yes, I was working in protests with all of my friends. And
How's your Catalan now? Are you fluent?
Not yet. I actually begin a Catalan class next week. But it's such a beautiful language to be getting to learn. I'm excited.
Let's see how Barbara Valikova, well, she's going to make it difficult for herself. Probably not today. In theory.
Yeah, definitely not the run she was hoping for, but we'll have to see. It might be tight, but
Ida Novak,
think
who
it'll
was
quite be enough.
hugely disappointed to miss out last weekend. Let's see if she can regroup and come again together.
She's been spending quite a bit of time in La Seu lately. I've seen her here the past couple weeks.
You're our spy, aren't you? You know exactly who's been doing what.
Yeah, she's been here, and it's been really nice to watch her paddle, and it's been great.
Bit slow there. So slightly off the pace now. What are we seeing?
she's about 4 seconds off the pace, but I mean, we have seen people make up that much time on this bottom part, so.
What's gone wrong?
I think she might be a little bit tired. She's looking not super snappy around those up gates, but completely understandable. It's been a lot of racing this year.
How can you be tired at 24 years old and a full-time athlete?
Well, I mean, I'm only 18 and I was tired. But it's just the course takes a lot of energy, and training takes a lot of energy, and racing takes a lot out of you. So it's definitely possible.
What about the nightclub scene around here?
The nightclub scene, it is. There's not as much of a nightclub scene around here. It's a small town.
So You're all tucked up in bed at 10 o'clock in
Sayo,
the
you
evening.
should have come out with me last night.
You'll have to tell me where all these places are then. I think Sage might be more local than me now.
So Sage Donnelly and Sayo Jacobi from the USA team. But Sayo's living here. Not today, unfortunately, just moves out.
Not super stoked with that time, but he's put down a lot of amazing races this year, so.
Monica Doria, she is fantastic. One of my good friends here, and love watching her paddle.
Well, from Andorra, but I believe spends a lot of time here.
She does, yeah, from the Andorra team, but she trains here pretty much on a daily basis.
And she's been around quite a few years now, although young.
Yeah, still very young, but has been on the circuit for a bit.
And do you like have a coffee gang that you hang out together?
Yes, we do have a coffee gang.
Who's in the gang?
So her teammate Laura, as well as Annabelle from Spain, and Carmen, who's also from Spain, and quite a few others too. It depends on the day.
And Nuria Villaruble, she's like your moral guide.
Yes, we love Noria as well. It's so fun to be able to come to this course every day and see everyone here and motivated on the water. You can
Well, most of
see
the people
them.
you've been talking about are running down the side.
Yeah, there's a big old group, and it's really cool. The Spanish team and the Andorra team, very close, very good friends, everyone.
6 points off the pace, unfortunately, at the moment.
She definitely knows the ins and outs of this course, so it'll be interesting to see what time she can make up.
But 6 points off the pace.
Struggling a little bit to get out of that last up.
Picked up a touch.
It's definitely easy to pick up touches on the bottom of this course.
Well, yeah, 50 seconds not going to help, is it? No, dear. Monica Doria Villaruble, not today. There's going to be a few tears, I suspect. Victoria Wolfhard, really having a very strong season. One of the athletes that doubles up and makes the final, normally in both.
Choosing to go direct here.
Vicky, another one of my favorite paddlers to watch. She's incredible in both kayak and canoe, and super fast and strong all the time. And really, really nice person as well, which is always cool to see, and have your heroes come up and talk to you during training.
You have to get over this soon, Sage.
I don't think I can. I'm really trying, but so far no success. I'll let you know next year.
Well done. Well, very much in touch. So 1.26 off the pace at the moment. And I wonder how many athletes secretly want to be as good as you in the other boats. In the creek boats, not many as good as you.
Yeah, creaking and freestyle definitely are much more my strong suits, but I'm trying to learn this slalom thing.
Vicky Wolfhard is now 4 seconds back. 2 second penalty was on 14. Can she do it? So far, half the field has gone. Mallory Franklin, really, really good, impressive with 1:04. But there's quite a spread now into the 10th place. There's a 12 seconds lead, so that's clearly not going to keep going.
Yeah, and this course really just showing how brutal it can be. It doesn't look big, but very, very technical and easy to slow down on.
No, that's not going to do the job. The Olympic medalist, here we go, Luca Jones.
Just earlier this week, we were having some crepes, some pre-race crepes with the Canadian team, with Luca and all at their hotel.
And what do you have on your crepes out here? Is it sugar or is it Nutella, or what do you have on? Bananas, probably.
Nutella.
Nutella.
That is very, very popular.
You can't top that. And I guess you spend so much energy, you earn the right to eat what you like.
Exactly. beautiful up, keeping things tight there.
Luke is such a strong athlete. 2 seconds back, but she can definitely make up that time.
And since the Olympics, taken on the extra challenge of doubling up in the C1m, so it's interesting to see how top athletes can remotivate themselves. But there's a touch there. You can see the pulse spinning. Great invention 3 or 4 years ago when they decided to put the numbers of the gates low down so we could actually see them. 4.53 seconds off for Luca James. And what's deceptive here is because the water doesn't look like it's really flying down like Tatsan we saw last week. It looks like it's ridiculously easy.
You know, it's definitely not. It is, as Sage was saying, it is so technical and the water is so swirly here that you really have to be on top of things.
And below the waterline, are there a few rocks and bits and pieces?
Yes, many rocks. This is definitely the course known for hitting your tail.
Well, could Theory be into it? Let's see how she's going to get at the moment. In provisional 6th place. But no. Not happy. Under 23 world champion Camille Prinjean, with her brother also a full world champion in the C2 mix. They're both here this weekend. Eve. Her mother's here as well as the leader of the French team, so the whole family's here.
Pretty awesome to see how many families get into slalom and are so successful.
Well, some of you don't have a choice, do you?
We definitely chose because I think we love it. Yeah, Sage?
Well, I mean, my parents weren't amazing at slalom, but they got me into kayaking, and I said I wanted to start competing, and then I just kept adding more and more kayaking disciplines on top of it because why not do it all?
Camille is 2.3 seconds off the pace here. She'll know the course really well. She had a bit of a dodgy year last year, but back in the team now, and as I said a minute ago, is the under 23 world champion, so has the confidence, but gone a bit low there. That's going to really be a major problem. Let's put her out of it.
She's fighting her way back up, though. She's not giving up.
Yeah, but 5 seconds have gone.
Yeah, it might not be enough to get her into finals, but definitely putting all she can into this run. And
no, unfortunately, look at that. Lost how many seconds? Well, 12 seconds back. And the energy that's needs to be spent to do that. And do you train for that? Do you train when it's gone wrong? Just keep it going?
yes, I do. My coach always yells at me if I stop and give up. So
Who's coaching you now?
Boris from Slovakia.
And how did you do that? How did you find him?
He actually was hired by the club I'm a part of in North Carolina for like 3 months before our team trials. So I started working with him there, and then when he went back home and I came out to Europe, I was needing a coach. So I asked him if he'd be willing to travel around Europe with me.
Worst things to do. Camille's absolutely distraught. Lisa Fritsch, very strong German athlete.
Another one of those athletes where you can just see the power in every stroke.
Well, the Germans are renowned, aren't they, if they're doing constant loops and loops and loops of the Augsburg course. All very highly tuned athletes.
This little draw, very impressive. Getting it pretty tight around that up gate. You can see your face. A little surprised.
About 2 seconds off the pace, which is okay. Marley Franklin is still very much up there. Karina Kunle, who was looking really worried when she finished, is not quite safe, but possibility there. For the Germans, you can see all the Germans saying, up, up, up.
And super supportive, big team. It's really cool to see how many athletes come out to support.
4 seconds off. It's going to be difficult now. And as, well, I don't want to be rude, but United States of America, you're not shy at making lots of noise. Does it help coming down when you have your compatriots going whoop, whoop, whoop?
It definitely does. I actually love it. I hate it when it's just quiet. All the cheering and support really helps you dig deep. Well, at least it helps me dig deep, especially when I'm at the bottom and really tired, so.
Is it just a culture thing that you're louder than the others? I'm talking generically about your country people. Anyway, let's see how she goes over. Lisa Fritsch in 8th place.
Not quite the run she was hoping for, but still super solid and really nice.
Fiona Penny. Welcome back. Chooses her races carefully this season. One of the very top athletes for the last 20 years now. Medalist in the Worlds. Let's see how she can go forward.
She's going so fast through these top 5 gates. See, she's really, really powerful in all of her strokes.
Very jazzy boat as well. Sage, you're quite a connoisseur on boat designs. Do you like this one?
I do like this
love
one.
Oh my gosh, it's beautiful. I love this.
You were quite keen on the Czech ones, I believe, last week.
I was. I'm all about color, but she is pulling off the subtle color really well. So.
Well, 1.32 up, Fiona Penny.
Beautiful
Crucial
run so
move
far.
coming. This is where we saw Camille Pajon lose 10 seconds. He's already lost a second.
A little hung up there on the rocks, but
Okay. 1.5 seconds down now.
that up costing her, unfortunately.
So it shows how quickly it can all go from. Well, keep in there, Fee. There's maybe a possibility.
And down at the bottom here, especially, it's super easy to mess things up and get a little bit slower. You're getting really tired, and
Well, I don't think there'll be a problem with tiredness. She's one of the fittest athletes out there, but there's a 50 on 20.
50's gate 20. Oh,
No. Keep it going. Well, tomorrow's another day. You have to do some pronunciation here.
Yes, Irari. I love watching her paddle. She's been spending a lot of time in Laseo. Really, really cool. Super sweet.
Is she in your gang? Or too old, probably?
No. No. She's really cool. Well, we definitely see her around and with coffees and all that.
No.
really
Has to
tight.
be the whole head. I wasn't mean to rude to 30. So how are you, Sayo? How old are you?
I'm 17 years old.
Exactly, that's right. No, well, so far no penalties come on. I think that's going to be looked at very closely. 3.32. So what's the general philosophy on this course? Can you cut the lines, or is it a bit dangerous?
You know, I think it depends on what section of the course you're in. As for example, in the middle part, I would stay in the middle of the gate and keep things smooth. They put a 50 on 6.
It had to be, really, to be fair. Oh no, so we had Doria go wrong. Is it the pressure's crumbling? Or is it the weeks coming up to this? Is it positive, exciting talk, or is it just...
You know, I've been spending a lot of time with the whole Spanish team, and it has been so positive.
Well, Roman and Francesca for the last 30 years have been putting this event together. But Roman was the main key designer to this course in 92. But with a 50-second penalty, it's not going to happen. And not that fast as well, unfortunately. Action continues. Another Frenchie for us. Zila Lafont. Really had it a couple of years ago. She did extraordinarily well. Made the Olympics.
Yeah, super strong paddler, and she actually has another boat that I really like.
Good. So
Fortunately,
Mallory Franklin is qualified. We're down to the last 9 athletes now. No doubt about that. 2-second penalty on 6. Can she absorb it?
As well as another touch on 8.
4 seconds back.
Looking good for Connie. Karina Kunlin's in second place at the moment. Looks like she's going to qualify, so we have the big names.
It's very interesting to see still how spaced out the times are right now.
Well, apart from the amazing run by Mallory Franklin, everyone else has been, the course has been almost getting the better of them. Oh no, 2 seconds penalties.
That might put her out 3 touches. It's funny, you think the times are going to be so fast, but then you don't realize just how far down that finish line is. It's a brutal sprint at the bottom.
Yeah, it really is, isn't it? After you've been going for pretty much 2 minutes of action. No. So 2 athletes have officially qualified now, and it's Lucy Badu who's in 3rd place. She'll be the next to go. Karina Kunle and Mallory Franklin have actually qualified. Now, as a Kragel, well, for the last 7 or 8 years, she's been a top twice, I believe, was the overall champion in the standings. And this is relevant today because there's double points on offer. It's the World Cup final, which means it's the 5th and last World Cup of the 2018 season. The only event left after this in slalom is going to be the Worlds, Rio de Janeiro in Brazil in 3 weeks' time. Very tidy paddler, isn't she?
Very smooth, very tidy, keeping things clean and tight around pretty much every gate at the top part. We'll see how she is on the split.
I'd say almost very thoughtful. There's no flamboyancy. It's a, I need to plan to put it here. But 3.84 seconds off the pace.
Seconds could still be enough to make finals at this point. We'll have
Big
to
names
see.
to come up there. Big
Definitely.
names. We saw in the C1 men, we saw Sidovis missing out, Michael Martkins missing out, David Florence missing out. So difficult to say. I guess that's what we want there.
Yeah, it's definitely exciting to see some, well, tragic and exciting to see results like that. But
See the Great Britain flag there. The Union Jack. So the judges on the side, they have a thankless task, don't they? I mean, to be fair, they enjoy themselves and they get to travel the world and all that sort of stuff, but they're only ever brought into focus when they do something wrong. It's not bad around here.
No, solid run. But
Not going to be
maybe
enough
not
though, she
enough.
knows it. No. By definition, there's always more people unhappy than happy. Happy birthday, by the way. Kimberly Wood's birthday today. Peter Cow's birthday today as well. Good company.
it's a beautiful day for a birthday.
oh yeah, I'm sure she's looking for a nice run to celebrate her birthday with.
Well, one of the world's top athletes, and Mallory Franklin has just qualified in top place. That gives you these 2 training partners, but also great enemies. Who else has qualified? We've got, Lucy Badu's qualified now. Next is Eva Turchel.
Unfortunately, coming in a little bit low on that, but manages to keep it running, so hopefully that won't cost her too much. Three seconds back.
That's okay. Well, not okay, but it's okay.
Oh. Flipping and hitting the wall. She's going to have to work hard to get back up there.
No, there's something gone, isn't there?
Such a brutal course.
But she's as tough as they come, though. It looks like she's been a bit stunned.
Yeah, definitely when you screw up like that, it's kind of a moment of, wow, did that just happen? But I'm sure she'll reset and try to have a good bottom part.
Again.
think one of the important things is she didn't give up. She went back for the gate, and
No, but she's a bit stunned there. I hope she's okay.
Yeah, hopefully not hitting her head on that flip.
So the helmet's obligatory, but you're exposed to very much the element, aren't you?
Definitely, they're meant for speed, not so much padded. So definitely not a creaking helmet out there.
Okay, there'll be another day, don't worry. So who's next to go? It looks like it's going to be Marta Kovačíková, again, very experienced paddler.
It's been really cool getting to hang out with her while she's been here. Always good when she's in Laseo. I think she really enjoys it here.
Have you met anyone who doesn't? Don't name them, please. But
You know, I don't think I actually have.
okay, so we don't need to say that.
I had one session with her this week, and I know she was smiling and laughing the whole time. It was amazing energy to be around.
It's not a bad way to live your life, though, is it? I mean, you're normally brighter than the average people, and you choose to have great physical technique, and it's a good lifestyle.
Definitely a fun lifestyle. Doing slalom and traveling around the world.
Well, so far, Marta's looking good. So look at the timings. Just need some sort of split to see where she is.
I'm not sure what happened to the split, but I guess we'll see in a couple seconds when she's at the finish
Well,
line.
I suppose time of reference is to come through into 10th place at the moment. Vicky Wolfhard is 111, so it would move her into provisional 5th place. It's difficult to see.
She is.
Yeah, she qualified with that. Very impressive.
Hey, it's good to have a Russian. Katerina Kudjova, 2015 world champion. I guess we're going to see in a minute. There we go. Trains with Yuri Piskovic, and by Yuri Piskovic senior.
Finding that bottom we've been talking about a little bit can be shallow around here. Picks it right back up.
Well, there's plenty of noise out there. We could expect something good.
Yeah, I can always pretty much expect something super fun and fast from her. She's an amazing paddler and has her whole team cheering her down right now. Only 0.65 back. That is definitely enough. Let's see if she can keep it together through this tricky move. And does. Getting a little bit caught up still, but at least not taking those hard flips or anything that we've been seeing. So say, I know in training I probably flipped on that move almost every time I did it. Do you flip there a lot?
You know,
Is it just like a cycle?
It is really normal. But then again, I can say I flip everywhere on this course. It is not just there.
Yeah, fun times. Nothing like a good power shade.
Exactly. It's just really, it's just for refreshment. It's not on, you know.
Looking like she'll have a really good time. Love to see. And it
Yes, well
will
done.
be enough.
Enough
She's
to get
super
through.
happy with that.
She's having a good couple of weeks there. That's great. So who's next to go? We just have. There we got Funk, Shure, Fox, and Satilla to come. Ricky Funk, best paddler in 2017. Slight frustration this year, but just would make a great sprint paddler.
Yeah, she has an amazing forward stroke and is just so strong.
We did a portrait of her a couple of weeks ago in Augsburg and got bored of filming after like a 200th pull-up. Exaggerating, but she can do 25 no problem. And she didn't even warm up. She said, should we do these? I'll do quite a lot of pull-ups and then the weights and all sorts of things. But Ricky Funk is charging for Germany at the moment. Let's see where she's on the split.
Those pull-ups definitely paying off for her.
Yeah, very much in touch, and that's what it needs to be. There's quite a load of gap. There's what, 5 seconds between first and 10th, and that's what it's all about, is qualifying for the final.
A little bit low, but she's working
But
with
keeps it running, doesn't get stuck on that wall, which is definitely important.
Another athlete, like a bit like Mallory Franklin, it's always sort of laser guided. And I think she has one of the fastest second half of the course, statistically, of any of the athletes.
Oh yeah, she's always so powerful at the bottom and always right on line where she wants to be. It's definitely a talent. Struggling a little bit on that exit, picking up a touch.
Normally, she often picks up a touch.
We're kind of fighting the water, it looks like, on that exit. So
Now,
kind of a weird spot.
let me see where she's going to go. No problem. Qualifies for the final. 3 athletes to go. So we have Franklin, Cunley, Badu, Kudjova, Churchill, Kautanova and Funk have qualified. Uz, Jones and Valkova do not know yet. Let's see who's to go. It's the local favourite, Mylin Shuro, who's just amazing.
incredible. So fun watching her paddle on this course. Getting to see her train here every day. Her daughter always comes along to training too. It's so cute to see her on the side.
It's amazing. We follow her. We saw her pregnant, then we saw a very young daughter. Now we see a young lady.
She's growing up quickly.
But she's capable of doing things other people can't do on this course.
Yeah, I bet definitely is nice to know exactly every bit of water on this course. So expecting a super solid run from her so far.
And you can
Spanish team.
They are. Big crowd coming down.
And when is there a pecking order in the Spanish team? Does she spend most of her day signing autographs, or is she?
No, you know, whenever I'm here, I always see her on the course. She's out there training hard with her teammates.
And do they have your own place in the changing room, or does anyone just change where they want to?
Change where you want to. It's really, yeah.
I'm asking all these questions to Seo Jacobi because you live here, so you know you have the inside track.
Yeah, it's cool to come here every day and get to see what the whole team's up to.
And Sage Donnelly, you're a bit of a talkaholic, so you tend to make many, many friends. But here she comes. This is going to be the new fastest time, is it? Well, safely qualifies.
Almost.
Safely qualified, though.
Well done. That keeps the crowd happy. Well done, Miley Show.
We have a nice local crowd turning up on our river right side too.
This is great. This
We'll
is
definitely be happy about
Jess
that.
Fox, who's just having the best season. Only came second last week in the K1, but so far, apart from that, she's won everything. And this is what we want. We want Mylin Shower to push Jess Fox as far as possible.
Getting a little caught up in that eddy, but right back on track.
Yeah, I don't think that'll affect her too much. She's so good at, even if she makes a mistake, just getting right back on it and making up that time.
So she's not bigger than the other athletes. What makes her so special?
I wish I knew. She's just an incredible athlete. She trains and works so hard, and I think having two parents who were amazing at slalom back in the day as your coaches is definitely probably helpful.
I think it's the processor in her brain. She always knows what to prioritise and how to put it forward. Anyway, she's struggling it today with 1.77. Needs to keep it tight. How much gap do we have? We still have, is it 8 seconds? No, 5 seconds to play with, and she was 2 seconds off the pace. This is the
Unfortunately,
semi-final.
that touch, but if she can keep it clean through here, she should be fine. And that is one thing with Jess. She, I think she just does enough to qualify in both prelims and semis, and then in
Is that another
finals,
touch
she just
there? It's
goes
going to be
so
tight. I think there's
fast.
another touch coming on there. Or is that just me?
I don't know.
Yeah, touch did come on, and
I put her in 8th.
that's okay. She's qualified. There's an asterisk still next to her name, but maybe it might go off. Anyway, who's last to go? It's Anna Satilla. She's going to have a lot of buzz factor in the next couple of weeks, coming from Brazil.
Oh, yeah, so she's been having a pretty good year so far. Won U23 Worlds.
But she's just, again, she's a prodigy almost when she was so young, doing so good.
Yeah, I remember the first Senior World Championships I went and watched in Deep Creek, Maryland. She was there. I believe she was only 16 maybe, and she was making finals in canoe. So it's definitely an incredible athlete and has always been super strong and super fast.
Let's see how she goes today. Well, very much in touch. In fact, she's the fastest so far down the course. Last athlete to go in the semi-finals. We had 30 starting off, and there's only one more place available. Is it going to be Victoria Us from Ukraine, who was 109, so 4.5 off the pace? That's the crucial. Or is it going to be Anna Satilla? I think since last year, since she medalled, she's given a lot of confidence to Stasia running down the course rather.
Still keeping it super smooth and fast right now. Clean run. Knock on wood. Hopefully I don't jinx her on this last part.
No, she can't hear you, don't worry.
I know, but it seems like every time I said they have a clean run and talks and they touch, so really need to stop saying that.
Let's see how she's going. It's looking good. Well done, Anna Satilla. She's going to qualify.
Third position.
We're happy
Very
with that.
Well, she knows how to do the happy. Right, any asterisks left? Nope. So far, no, this is it really. Jess Fox, just scraped in. Not as just as Ricardo Funk though. That's going to be interesting. The first two to go in the final are going to be Funk and Fox. They're going to really, hopefully, lay down something amazing, and then the rest are going to think, oh dear. So here we go. You're going to see that in a minute, but there's Franklin, Shura, Satilla, Kunli, Badu, Kudjova, Turchilka, Canova, Fox and Funk. So I don't know how many world championships and Olympic medals they have between them, but an awful lot.
It's going to be an exciting final. I'm excited.
Who's your tip for the win? You don't have to say anything.
Ooh.
Well, don't bother.
No.
I want to see, I don't know. I love watching all these athletes paddle, and I'll be happy if any of them win, and I think they all have the capability to, so it'll be spicy to watch.
But you're always happy. Thanks so much, Sage Donnelly. And Sayo, what do you think? You've got inside knowledge.
I'm gonna go with the same answer as Sage. I'm like she said, like everyone in this final has a solid chance to win, and I'm excited to see who it'll be.
Well, thank you so much, ladies, for coming in and joining us on the live commentary, the best view in the house.
Thank you so much for having us. This has been so
thank
fun.
you.
I'll let you go and join your mates and your family and all sorts of stuff, and we'll catch you soon. Thank you.
Thank you.
Well done. Okay. Live commentary here, thanking the ladies for coming in. Central European time, and the finals are going to be taking place in about an hour's time. So we've seen some really good action. We've seen some big surprises, especially in the men's C1, where we saw 3 athletes really have huge chances of getting number 13. I think that was the key. Confirmation of the results. These are the 10 athletes going forward for the finals, which will take place in about an hour's time. Quite a big gap between first and 10th there, but look at the start. It's going to be Ricky Funk, followed by Jess Fox, followed by Martin Kauternova, Churchill, Kujulova, Badu, Kunle, Satila, Shua, and Franklin. So really is going to be all the big names there. We have Olympic champions. These are the athletes who are just missing out. Then again, most of these perhaps could on their day go to the finals, but that's not what the game is all about. The game is about making it happen on the day. We've seen a really fair course. We've seen the challenge maybe just under the bridge at gate 13 has been the decider, 260 meters long. And join us again in about an hour's time, and we're going to talk you through all the action for the finals, the Seydougel World Cup 5 World Cup Final 2018. Thanks for joining us.